welcome back to another video. I am Melissa, the owner of Cali Meets NYC, and we're a home fragrance business based out of Lake Worth, Florida. I have a special guest. I'm so excited for you to meet her. This is my mom. Say hi, Mom.
Hello.
Tell them your name.
Okay, my name is Shalon Ferguson Davis.
So, this is my mom. She is here visiting. And so, I know you guys, I have told you guys that I am a third generation. My mom corrected me and said you are a fourth, if not fifth generation entrepreneur. And her mom, my maternal grandmother, owned a convenience store located in the Bronx. That's where my mom is from. So, I wanted to ask my mom how it was growing up in the store and if she can tell us, so I can share with you guys a little bit about her experiences and everything.
Okay, I grew up in the store. My mother actually purchased the store right after she gave birth to me in January. And so they had the store for 20 years. It wasn't a typical family setting that we had. So we were a family business where we actually conducted all our meals at the restaurant. It was a stationary restaurant where we had greeting cards, newspapers, magazines, cigarettes, candy, a whole variety of things. As far as the family life there, we did everything. Homework, we all went to school and we did all our homework there. Parents checked everything. And then at the end of the day, we went home, went to sleep, and then did it all over again.
So the store was kind of when you were born into the store.
Correct.
So what was like your day-to-day life?
The day-to-day life was typically, well, I'll go according to what my parents was. They woke up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. They opened the store at 6 o'clock. Everybody got dressed and ready to go to school by 8 o'clock. Then some of us went directly to the store before they went to school and may have worked there for about an hour before school started. For me, one of my brothers was actually bringing me to school. And then on the way back, I had taken the bus and I was back in the store about maybe 3:30 or so. And typically, like I said, we had our family meals, we had homework time there, any family news that needed to be discussed and everything. And then the store closed about 11 o'clock.
Wow.
So we were there all day long, practically.
Oh my gosh. So when you say 5 of us,
I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and I'm the last of the 5.
she's the baby.
Yes.
So I know I've heard so many stories. What's your favorite?
My favorite, well, typically on a Saturday night, I don't know how they actually put the newspaper together, the Sunday newspaper or the Sunday Times. We used to have they came in sections, and you had a lineup of all the newspapers, all the sections, and then you combine them all together, preparing for Sunday for delivery. My favorite thing was more or less, seeing the customers on a daily basis, and they watch us all grow up, and we watch them and their children.
Wow. So I know, because hearing all the stories from my aunts and uncles and from you and then from my grandmother, you hear what an impact it was, but then you have a lot of friends who grew up in the Bronx but didn't know you back then, and
Correct.
they remember the store.
Yes, I met a couple of people in college, and the minute, everybody asks, oh, well, where are you from? Who are your parents? Or, who are your parents? And then I tell them, I said, I didn't have a typical, family lifestyle in a home setting. We all grew up in the store. And they said, well, what store? And we said, the Bronx. in the Bronx, there was a store called the Roundup. And it, like I said, it was a variety store. And they said, oh, I remember going to my grandmother's house and we bypassed the store. And we were so jealous of the kids that were there because they got to get free ice cream, free candy. I'm like, well, yes, that's kind of true. But you didn't want to overindulge. And, you know, for me, I looked at the other kids that were looking and said, oh, you know, they could go here and hang out with their parents. And I'm like thinking, we're at the store, you know, and the store was open 7 days a week. So we didn't really have any day that we were, you know, closed. The only time we had closed, I remember, was Labor Day when we all went to the Bahamas or, you know, or Florida. And that was the only time. And as far as like the holidays was very special to us because there were a lot of people who didn't have families. So they would, you know, actually come directly to the store and have my mother and my father would make a Thanksgiving dinner. And it was special. A lot of famous people came through the door. I remember the Beatles came through. I remember we had quite a few singers that came through. Martin Luther King came through.
Wow.
So it was like one of those places that everybody knew about the Roundup.
Wow.
And so I really enjoyed that part of my life.
I really enjoy hearing stories from you and Cherry and my Uncle Demetrius, and it's just about the store and, you know, how you guys grew up, because it's so different than, you know, my, you know, life. And so I'm just, you know, admire that.
Oh, thank you. You know, what's really unique about our family is that we come from a family of entrepreneurs. So it wasn't just my mother, it was, you know, her siblings, and then my younger brother, well, he's not the youngest, I'm the youngest. He opened up a shoe store right next door to my parents' store. And then from there, he went on to do other, you know, like cleaning services. We always had an entrepreneur mindset throughout the whole family. And then even generations, you know, after that, you know, you as well. I have my niece who does
custom tumblers.
Yeah, custom tumblers, yeah. I mean, it's just like a line of people that, you know, have done things and have reached, knowing that you need to have that mindset of knowing that if you have a dream, you need to follow that dream. Don't let that dream, you know, go with you when you pass.
Right.
So that was very important that my parents had indoctrinated in us, and all the aunts and uncles. I remember my uncle owning a meat market.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. And so my sister, Annalicia, she used to work there. And then also too, my aunt on my mother's side owned a beauty parlor, a beauty and a barber shop. So that was completely different, where the barber shop was in the front and the beauty shop was in the back. So, you know, like I said, we come from, you know, I could name numerous places that we have. I mean, I just coming to mind that on my father's side, they own a funeral parlor. And then they had a limousine service. I mean, so it was like.
So entrepreneurship is very normalized in our family.
It's not surprising. It's, you know, just being supportive to one another.
Yeah, I'm like, so I admire our family and our journey and the hardships, and I know this is really hard, but what was one of the hardest times in the store?
Well, I'm gonna say the hardest time was that we grew up where there was a lot of people who were jealous for one reason or another, because like I said, my mother and my father actually got the store when I was born, and so it was in the 60s. So there was a racial issues that occurred. There were a lot of crime area that was occurring. But however, you know, to see my parents go through that and to not stop their
Mhm.
dream.
Mhm.
So that was the hardest time.
Mhm.
And then I guess the last part was when they actually had to close the store.
Mhm.
Um, that was like bittersweet, but it was time.
Mhm. And how old were you?
How old was I? I was in high school at the time that
Okay.
my parents closed it. Well, no, I'll take that back. I had just entered into college, and they had actually closed the store at that time. But then they always was doing something else. So where one door closed, another door open.
That's right. That's right.
So,
Uh,
yeah.
You talk about Michael Demetrius having his shoe store, which I heard about, and his
He
cleaning
was only 19 when he had a shoe store.
and his cleaning business, which, believe it or not, pretty much all of my cousins have worked in that cleaning service business, including myself. My mom has. I think most of your siblings have worked there, so it's it definitely involved everyone. I worked there during a spring break, which we got yelled at because we were late.
Oh, and also too, he was very particular. Nobody needed to wear makeup because
it wasn't necessary. It was a cleaning business, but so I have a business, but I know you have also delved into entrepreneurship after retirement.
Yes. My goal was always to help others to achieve their dream. I worked in the financial aid office as assistant director for close to 30 some years, well, over 30 some years. And I wanted to return back to being an entrepreneur because not only after you graduate from college, you need to have other sets of income coming in and knowing that, just don't limit yourself to one thing. Mm-hmm. Be diverse, be open. And so I actually started doing a health and wellness products, trying to encourage people to, take a look at themselves and say that, are you happy where you're at?
Mm-hmm.
If you're not, then you need to do something differently. For me, one of the biggest things that I have done was to improve my health.
So would you call yourself a consultant?
Yeah, I'm a shopping consultant.
Okay.
Yeah.
So shopping consultant, and you help get help earn money cash back, which I earn money cash back online shopping. Yes. And then also getting healthy because taking protein drinks, taking vitamins. My husband and I have been on a health journey. If you have been here for a while, I have talked about being a Pilates girl, and I am indeed a Pilates girl and have been taking my vitamins on a day-to-day basis. And this is where I get my vitamins from. You might have seen them in some vlogs and stuff. But that's where, and I'll put all of my mom's business links down in the description below. Oh. Okay. So I'm so happy that you're here.
Oh, thank you.
Because we have such a great relationship.
We do. Oh, I have one more thing to tell you.
Yeah.
We were speaking to my grandson, your nephew.
Oh, yes. My nephew, he's hilarious. He just turned 10. I'm not going to call him this because he would be really upset. But I have a little nickname for him. But anyway, we're FaceTiming. He's 10 and now he has a phone, and so he's so excited. So, we were talking, and his birthday just passed, and he said, I have all this money for my birthday. I'm going to take this and buy a popcorn machine. And I'm like, what are you going to do with the popcorn machine? He told me that he is going to go to the park during the summer and he's going to sell popcorn. And with the profits from the popcorn machine that he makes, because at the park, there is no food at the park he goes to. There is no concession stands or anything like that. So he's very aware of, his surroundings, So he then says with that profit, he's going to take and buy lemonade equipment to make also lemonade to go with the popcorn. And the reason why he's going to do the popcorn machine first is because he's getting the popcorn machine on sale. So,
Yeah.
and then from that, he's going to take and buy things for his pet. So, but
another generation.
Another generation of entrepreneurs that have been birthed. But yeah, I'm so excited that my mom is here. I'm so excited and excited that you can share a little bit about about us and about our family history, and a little bit about entrepreneurship from my mom's perspective. As far as things, it was before the age of the internet, where everybody went on social media to that was prompts another question. So before social media, obviously, how did you guys market? The
word of mouth. Word of mouth. Definitely.
Word of mouth.
Yeah, definitely.
Did grandma do any advertisements?
No, it was word of mouth. Perfect location. Brick and mortar stores were high in demand. And everybody was looking for like a little luncheonette. Come there, get the newspapers, go get a cigarette, a drink. I remember that there was this one particular person who came every single day, and I never heard of this, but he used to get a hamburger with a fried egg on it. And then A-creams. I don't know if you're familiar with the A-cream. A-cream is like chocolate syrup and milk and salsa. And then when I came to Syracuse, Cosmos.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they used to have that. And I'm like, wow, how things transfer from the Bronx all the way to Syracuse.
Oh, wow. So, word of mouth. That's interesting, because a lot of people think that you have to do a lot of advertisements.
No, and even today, people want that hands-on experience. They want somebody who actually been out there to say, oh, I had that. Would you recommend it? No matter how much advertisement that you do on social media, people still like to have the word of mouth. They want to know, did you really try it? What was your experience from it?
Exactly. None of the fake stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You heard that first. Okay, so for people who are not familiar with the Bronx, where was the store located?
230 3rd and White Plains Road.
Okay.
So it was on the tip end of the Bronx. It was centrally located where the hospitals were down the block, the school district, the fire department right across the street. And it was a growing, how would you say, a growing neighborhood which was multicultural, where there was Italians, there were, Germans, there were a mixture of people there. We were the first Black owners of a restaurant there, as well as my aunt being the first Black-owned beauty shop on 225th Street. My uncle, he was in the South Bronx.
Okay.
So, you have all this wide variety of people all over who were expanding, who knew that, there was a need. And, not only having a need, but knowing that you're trying to support your community, and which is really, really important. Because if you don't support your community, then, you're going to not have your community to grow.
Exactly.
And that's very, very important. I mean, I look at my grandson, who wants to have a popcorn and lemonade. We don't see that anymore. And it starts right there. It starts at, people supporting people.
Exactly. People supporting people. So what advice would you give to new entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs who are having a difficult time with being in business and people not supporting them?
I would say, my whole thing is, don't let other people discourage you from leaping ahead with your dream. Yes, you're going to fall down. Yes, you're going to exceed sometimes, but don't let that exceeding get to your head where you don't have to do any more.
Mm-hmm.
You always have to do more because you want to keep on doing what you're doing to get a different result. And the different result could be either monetary or just expanding, let other people know what you have.
Exactly.
And as I always say that don't take your dream with you to your gravesite.
Mm.
Many people have great ideas, but because they don't express it or because they don't believe in it and they don't believe in themselves, they just take it with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good advice. That's good advice. So when I told you that I was gonna be an entrepreneur,
I was not surprised because of the fact that I believe that you saw what we were doing.
mm-hmm.
And even from your father, your father is an artist and selling his posters and his prints and his greeting cards.
Mm-hmm.
In order to get out there, you have to be out there.
Mm-hmm.
I was never really into like a lot of the other like Crystal Princess House or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But however, I never knocked anybody if that was their
Mm-hmm.
support.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that when you approached me, it was not only for the candles, but you had made bracelets years ago. You always dibbled and dabbled in something.
Mm-hmm.
For your brother, who I cherish, and I just know that there's going to be that opportunity. He's more of a teacher than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
He loves his Legos.
Mm-hmm.
And has loved his Legos since day one.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was born with them. So he's always building.
Right.
He was always innovative.
Right.
And now he's teaching. So he has, it may not be that entrepreneurship,
mm-hmm.
but it's always teaching you could be better than what you are right now.
Right. So do you remember when we went to Michael's and I asked you for a candle making kit?
Yeah, I remember that.
How old was I?
I think 8 or 10.
I was 8 or 10. For some reason I thought it was 12.
No, I think that maybe you looked at it. Maybe you had said that, this is something I'm going to try. But you did do it. I don't know exactly when you actually indulged in it, but I know that you had bought,
mm-hmm.
The candles. I think that that was one of your passions is to always make yourself feel good. You were really into the self-care. You were always into like you did poetry.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, all those things are related. It's about your feelings, your mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And that has a lot to do with your business,
mm-hmm.
how you touch people. People always want to be touched.
Right.
To me, I think that's really important.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Mom.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you too.
Thank you so much for this. So, thank you for tuning in and being here, Mom.
And thank you for the opportunity.
And until next, if you like more videos like this, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. And until next time, bye, you guys.
Bye. Cut it out. I know you still live.
It's not live. It's just rolling.
Oh,
it's
okay.
rolling. I'm gonna edit all of this. No, it's
okay. You told me don't be nervous. I'm like, well, you just stopped, and I'm like, okay. Did she want me to say anything else?